Coach Andre again, and here we go. Today, we're going to do 5 different exercises, and these are great to do upon waking. You actually could do them in the bed. So, Mom, and all my aunties, and all my uncles, and all those wonderful, mature people in my life, these exercises are geared toward supporting you and increasing your mobility. So, movement's important, we know that. Let's get ready and let's move. I'm in the chair, but you could be in the bed and you could be standing. So, let's begin. I prefer to turn sideways so that you can get a good visual. So you're going to breathe in and go up the middle, over to your left, up the middle, over to your right. And this is the frontal view, breathing in and up and out and in and out and in and out and in and out, in and out. All right. Now, as you get more familiar with the exercises and you feel more comfortable with your breathing, then you can try to do the whole breath work for the whole exercise. And this is like the infinity sign or a lazy 8, an 8. Some people here say lazy 8. So you're going to breathe in and out, and then breathe in and out. That's once you get comfortable with doing the in breath and out during the whole lazy 8. But when you, during the 2 parts of the lazy 8. But when you actually do it, hold the breath the whole time, that's when you start to see the benefit for the oxygen going to your brain, more oxygen to your brain, as well as, I can't think of the words I'm saying, but let's move on. So then the next one, so that was for shoulder work. That lazy 8 also helps with eye. I almost forgot. Yes, please make sure you do your eye movement and follow that thumb. So follow the thumb with your eyes. I know that's a lot. I know, because now I got you breathing, focusing your breathing, and I got you focusing on your eyes. But all that is helping center you. All of it is really helping you get into balance. So remember, everything we do and all my videos that I make or anything, I'm always going to focus on breath, and I'm always going to focus on bringing the body into balance, the mind, and the spirit is so important. So we did the lazy 8, and now what I want to do is leg extensions. So I want you to bring that knee up, push it down, bring it up, and push it down. So I'm calling them extensions even though I'm flexing and then extending. In the bed, I think it's a great benefit. It also supports the back. That's another reason sometimes people may want to do exercises in the bed, because you don't put as much stress on your back. It's zero tolerance. Maybe the word isn't tolerance, but at any rate, you can move freely without a lot of gravitational pull on you. So leg extensions, in breath, out, in, out, in, out, in, and out, in, and out, in, and out. Last one, in, and out. Okay. Those support the abs. Those extensions support your abs. They support leg strength, hip strength as well. We always want to keep our muscles strong and support our joints as well. When you have strong muscles, it supports your joints. And when you have strong muscles and your joints have good mobility, now that means that you're improving your life and your quality of life. Remember, people that move and keep moving have a better quality of life. All right, other movements we can do upon waking. After the leg extensions, we're going to do tuck-ups. So what are tuck-ups? Tuck-ups are where you're bringing both legs in and then you're extending them out. In and out. Now, if you don't feel comfortable in this type of a chair, you can lean up against a wall and do it on the floor. If if you're standing, yes, it would be hard to do tuck-ups because in that case you would be doing basically tuck jumps because you would need to lift both legs off the floor. And I don't know if any of you are ready for that, but just in case you are, it's going to increase the abdominal strength, and I promise you it's going to increase your circulation. Okay, so let's do 4 of those. Remember, you can always pause the videos, and when you pause them, repeat the exercises that I've done, and then turn it back on, and continue. So we're doing 4 tuck-ups. Putting your hands under your thighs is another good way to support yourself, as well as just maybe holding onto your chair from the bottom of it, or even putting pressure on your chair. Try to keep your back as straight as you can. We don't want to hunch over, and we don't want to hyperextend. There is exercise we'll do next, but we'll talk about hyperextending later. So we're going to pull our knees up and push them out. In breath, out. In, out, in, and out, in, and out. Wow, I felt like I struggled with that. But in the bed, you definitely won't struggle as much with it. However, struggle is a sign that you need some improvement or work in that area. Okay, so let's get to, that should have been our 4th one. And now we're going to get to our 5th exercise. Okay, that was our tuck-ups, and then we're going to turn our body. If you're in the bed, we're going to call it a log roll. So it's a half of a log roll because I don't want you to roll all the way onto your face. So if you're laying in the bed, or if you're standing, or if you're sitting in a chair, you're going to turn to the point where you're looking behind you, and your hips rotate as well. If you have challenges with your hips rotating or turning your ankles and knees over, then turn what you can, or as far as you can, and eventually after you're doing this repetitively, meaning 2 to 3 weeks, every day, you're going to see some improvement. And then same thing here on the other side. So that's the in-breath. Look behind you, open that hip up, and then turn back. Now, these may not be formal exercises that you may have done in PE, but these movements are always going to support your mind, body, and spirit. Okay, so that was the quick 5. I want to introduce you to a surprise, and the surprise is a Qigong exercise that helps you with anxiety. So what is Qigong? Qigong is a phrase that means an exercise routine. They are forms of breathing as well as sounds that can be used while you're doing these movements that are focused on particular organs. Every organ in the body is associated with an emotion, and those emotions are taken on when they're negative. They impact and they take on negative energy in those organs. So the organ we're going to focus on is the spleen. The spleen, a lot of people are like, wow, I don't hear much about the spleen, and that's the reason why I want to bring it up. A lot of times we don't hear much about it, but in traditional Chinese medicine, we have to give them props. They definitely focus on all the organs in the body, and they focus on the fact that the spleen is a very vital organ. Sometimes, and Western medicine, they've taken people's spleens out when they get enlarged and they don't work well. Well, I happen to have a large spleen, and I happen to have a lot of anxiety, and I have used these exercises to help bring my body into balance. So let's quickly get started. We'll do 4, and we're going to do the ones with the sound. So we're going to start with one hand down on the side of your hip and the other hand over your head. And you turn the palm up, and then you're going to breathe in, like we've been talking about, the tongue at the top of the roof, breathing in. And then on the out breath, we're going to say, woo, and breathe in and out, woo, in and out, woo, If we do something on one side, we should do it on the other. So now we're going to switch. And we're going to breathe in and out. Ooh. Make sure those eyes are focusing on that hand. In breath. Out. Ooh. 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 So that sound and that movement, that sound's not going to change, but that movement might. And another way to do that movement, so in that situation when we were holding it this way, we were more focused on bringing energy to the spleen. And you want to know where the spleen is. The spleen is located right above the pancreas. And where is the pancreas? The pancreas is a little bit over the stomach. So always remember that your stomach is on the left side, your liver is on the right. Okay, now, I just said that we're going to do another movement for the spleen, right? But we're going to make the same sound. Okay, so here we go. We're going to take our hands and form a diamond. No, we're not in a sorority. And we're going to put them over our head and we're going to breathe in. And then on the out breath, we're going to say, woo. Breathing in and out. Woo. 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 We're looking at the hands. Woo. Woo. And relax. Yes, it's a good workout for the arms and up under the arms. So up under there, that muscle is your tricep, and then the one on top is your bicep. So bicep means that's 2 insertions, and tricep means that's 3. 3 insertions. So enjoy those 5 movements that can support your energy upon waking, bring balance to your body. And then that last one, those sounds can just be made without the movements when you feel like maybe you're having an anxiety attack. So try them, use them for 2 weeks, and let me know how you're doing. Thanks again. Bye.